Hi there, Greenwin residents. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to wish you a very, very happy new year. I hope that you are doing well, you are safe and making the most of your holidays during this interesting time in our life. My name is Sari, and I'm going to be with you, taking you through some yoga classes and teaching you about how movement and mindfulness can help you in so many different areas of your life. So for the month of January, we have actually dedicated it to adding restorative yoga practices. So when you think about the word restore, in terms of yoga, it means to restore the spirit, to restore our nervous system, to restore our energy, so we are well rested, we are ready to conquer our days. So for today's practice, ideally, this is a great practice to do when you are feeling overwhelmed when you wake up and you have a lot to do and your mind's kind of all over the place. So we're going to move our body, just kind of get out all those jitters and anything that we're just, any nervous energy. And then we're going to find stillness. So today's practice will be a combination of movement and restorative yoga. Now, the thing with restorative yoga is that ideally we want to have some props around. And I don't want to make this a thing where you can't participate if you don't have any props. So whatever you have around the house is perfect for you to use. So couch cushions, pillows from your bed, fancy decorative pillows, grab those. If you have like a more of a firm pillow, that is great. This is actually not even ideal. Like a firmer bolster is great. A strap is really wonderful. Blocks, anything, any firm support is great. And a blanket, because when we're doing restorative yoga, we want to make sure that we are warm and comfortable enough where then we can set ourselves up to relax. So another thing about restorative yoga that I find sometimes inhibits people from doing it, there's a few things that potentially inhibit people, but one of them is also it's cumbersome to create the support and the structure to then use for your body, because we're moving in these different positions and then we have to build the support system. So my goal over the next few weeks is to show you that it doesn't have to be so cumbersome. It doesn't have to be a thing. And I want to make it as simple and as accessible for you as possible. So we're going to push our props off to the side for about 10 minutes. We're going to warm up our body, and then we will go into a restorative practice that will hopefully allow you to just downstream your nervous system, create a little bit more stillness, allow you to come back to your center and carry on with your day. So let's begin in a seated position. I have a blanket folded right in the middle of my mat, and I like to start on a blanket because it helps to elevate my hips, and then I have more space in my low back and my hip joints. So I definitely recommend starting any seated position or starting a practice elevated and supported. Just take a moment to find your seat. You can release your hands down your thighs onto your lap, or you can just cup your hands right in front of you. Wherever you are, consciously take a moment to come into what we're doing right now, right? It's a new year. It's a new start. Yes, we just flipped the page in the calendar, but it's an opportunity to set some goals for ourselves. And in this realm, perhaps it's taking care of yourself in every way: our physical health, our mental health, connecting to ourselves, finding time to reflect so we can show up as the people that we want to be, right? And not letting the external circumstances, which are plenty, affect who we are and how we want to show up. So on that note, go inward. Close your eyes. And just feel your body. Right? Our bodies are here in the present moment. And often it's our mind that keeps us from being here. Because we're either in two places. Well, three. The first one being the past. Right? The lands of regret and what we should have done. And I can't believe that that's how it used to be. Right? That's the land of the past. That keeps us from showing up right here. And then there's the lands of the what ifs. And will this happen? Right? And that's the future. And so we need to remind our bodies that what we have is right here in front of us. It's the present. That's not always easy to do. But let's put forth some effort and just breathe into this moment. Our minds want to run away into the past and in a way, run away to the future. And every time our minds go there, we just kindly bring them back here. With kindness, with gentleness, with compassion and understanding that we may have those moments of regret and wishing to be in a different place. But this is where we are. And so this is truth. Breathe here. Three breaths. Inhaling through the nose. You can exhale through the mouth. Just taking a few deep breaths. And since it is perhaps your first yoga practice of the day and of this new year, let's create an intention with heart, with clarity. So bring your palms right to the center of your chest in a prayer. And you can think of this prayer as a gesture for sealing in that which you want. So what is it that you want? And perhaps it's many things. But know that whatever you do want and whatever you're thinking about, you are beginning to create this vibration within you. And this vibration creates thoughts, which creates feelings, which creates actions. So let's choose well here. Choose an intention for your year ahead. What is it that you want? More importantly, how is it that you want to feel? Breathe those feelings in. Breathe those images in. Make them alive in your body, in your mind, and in your heart. One more breath. Release your hands, open up your eyes. Enjoy your class today. Okay, so come on over to hands and knees. Let's move all the props off to the side. We're just going to warm up the spine. So I'm going to bring my palms under my shoulders. My knees are under my hips. And we're just going to let the belly sink. So let your spine drip down, but your chest opens here. And then exhale, round through the back. Let the head go. Round the back like a cat. A few more. Take the heart center forward, lift the chest, and then exhale, round. One more like that. Looking up. And then exhale, rounding. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Take a few shoulder rolls back. Take a few shoulder rolls forward. And then you're just going to twist your body right to left, just nice and gentle. You can even bring your palms to your elbows if that suits you. Just twisting the body a little bit. Okay. And then as you bring your hands down, take your hips to the right. Legs go off to the left. And then from here, you're just going to take your right arm all the way up and create this C with your hands. Left palm is down to help ground you as your right fingertips reach up and over your head, just stretching through the sides of the body. Yes, we're warming up the whole body, creating some circulation. Right, getting rid of what's stuck, especially where we're stuck in our minds. Movement helps. Movement changes the vibration, the energy. Good. Right hand down. Let's switch our hips over to the left side and then bring your left arm up. So remember, it doesn't matter, how far, how wide, how deep you go into these poses. You want to know, if you can ground yourself and you can breathe and you can feel, you're absolutely doing it right. We all have a different depth. We all have different capacities, right? We're bringing our bodies here. We all come with different stuff. So let's just be here. Good. And then release. So let's come into what we call our downward facing dog. So take a moment to spread the fingers. We're going to curl the toes under and start to lift our hips up and back. And if you lift your hips up and you find you're really rounding through your back, take a bend in the knees and try to lengthen out your spine. Just think about spreading a blanket as you press down through the palms and reach your hips up. Good. One more breath here. Breathe into these poses. And then start to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Deep bend here in the knees so you can release those hamstrings in the low back and let your head go. Shake your head out left to right. Then you're going to roll it all the way up. Take a big shoulder roll back. Good. And start by finding your feet here. You're going to bring your palms together and thumbs right into the heart center again. Come back to your intention and that wish that you have for yourself, that which you want to feel as you move your body. So it starts to just get into your blood and your bones. Take another breath. And then exhale, arms come down by your side. Let's inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Little bend in the knees, and then exhale, fold. You're going to bring your hands to the shins as you lift your chest up halfway. You're going to bend your knees even deeper, palms set down. Step yourself back to what we call a plank pose. And you can stay lifted here for an extra breath or right away drop the knees. Your choice, wherever you are, is just great. And then exhale, everyone's going to drop their knees. Keep your toes tucked under, send your chest forward as you bend your elbows and lower down to your belly. Let's open up the heart. Bring your hands slightly in front of the shoulders, spread through the toes. Think about your ribs and your chest scooping up. So inhale, lift up, keep a bend in the elbows. Don't go for straight arms. And then exhale, lower. Notice if your heels turn in or out, reach the toes straight back. Let's go one more. Cobra. Exhale and lower. Let's curl the toes under and sit our hips back to our heels and then release the toes again. Let the head go. So this is called a child's pose, and at any point in the practice where you need to rest, this is exactly where you come. Let's stay here for another breath. And then let's make our way back to our downward facing dog. And even though we're going to stay in the same place of your downward dog, I want you to bend one knee at a time. We call this just walking out our dog, walking your dog here. So warming up the back of the legs a little bit more. We're going to stay here for another few walks. Pedal out, one more. And then you're just going to inhale the right leg up as high as you can. And we're doing this to get some momentum to take our right foot forward between your hands. Now, if your right foot only steps up about halfway, that's okay. Take it all the way forward. Release your back knee if you need to. You can fold over the side of the mat to take some support. You're going to bring your right hand to your right thigh, and I'm going to press my right hand there as I begin to open up my left chest. Yeah. So you're getting a nice stretch here through the front of the left hip, and then your left chest follows. Good. Stay right here. 2 breaths. Breathe in and out. Good. 1 more. As you bring your chest back to center, let's sweep both arms up once. And then exhale, hands are going to come down. You're going to step your right knee back, curl the toes under, and then again, let's find downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. And out. You're going to do the same thing that we did on the right with our left leg. So lift your left leg up and then swing it forward between the hands. If it doesn't make it there, don't worry about it. Just step it up. From here, walk your hands up that left thigh. Take support under the right knee if necessary. And then start to open up your right chest. So I'm encouraging my left knee to go forward, but with some control. My left palm's pressing down to ground. And then my right arm, right chest just opens up. And I'm reaching through my right fingertips. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Yeah, we're going for a full body stretch before we start to take this down. Good. 1 more here. And then bringing that right hand all the way back. Let's bring our left knee down, curl the toes under, press it all the way back to a downward facing dog. And let's stay here for 3 breaths. So often you may feel a lot of pressure in your shoulders in downward dog. We want to try to take the weight off of our wrists, off of our shoulders, keep a bend in the knees, press the hips up and back. 1 more breath. Come forward to a plank, drop the knees, keeping your toes tucked under. Bend your elbows and lower all the way down to the mat. Release and point the toes, palms slide forward. Let's inhale, roll the shoulders open. Head back. Think about the chest lifting, and then exhale, lower. Let's try it 1 more. And then exhale. Curl the toes under. Move through your child's pose back to downward facing dog. Breath here. And out. Okay, let's walk our feet all the way up to our hands. Little bend in the knees here as you fold in. Hands to the shins, look up halfway. And then exhale, fold into your legs. Let's reach the arms all the way up. And then lower your thumbs down to the heart space. Let's come to the sides of our mat and let's take our legs out wide. We're going to do a hamstring stretch, shoulder stretch, a little twist, and then we're going to start to take this down. So start with your hands on your hips, little bend in the knees. And here's the secret in this pose. You want to think about your feet really grounding. And as you start to take your chest forward, you want to bring your hips with you. Don't leave them back there and push them back to try to get more length and stretch. You'll get more stretch and length if you bring them with you. So little bend in the knees, open up through the chest. And then as I hinge forward, I'm taking my hips with me. Good. Hands are going to come down to the mat. So if you get about halfway and you realize that, your hands are just kind of floating, I want you to bend the knees to bring your hands down to the mat. Or you can take a trusty prop and bring the floor to you. But for this stretch, I just want you to relax your head here, releasing your head, releasing your neck. Just let it all go here. Take a few more breaths. Breathing deep throughout it all. The breath leads you through all of it. 1 more here. Good. You're going to inhale, look up halfway. And you're going to bring your right fingertips down in front of your heart. And again, that may be on a block, and you can change the height of whatever prop you have around the house. You're going to extend your heart center forward, twist your chest to the left. Bring your left hand up. So you want to try to keep these hips even, and then open up that left chest. Just stay here for another 2 breaths. Breathe in and out and in and out. Good. Left hand down, little bend in the knees, roll it all the way up. One more stretch. Here we go. You're going to interlace your fingers behind the back, open up your chest, little bend to the knees, and then again, pull your hips forward as you reach your arms up and over. Stay with it right here. That's it. Shoulders going over, up and over the ears. Breathe it in and out. 2 more breaths. You got it. Okay, fingertips down. Let's do that twist on the other side. So we're going to replace the right hand with our left hand. You want to lift your chest up halfway and then start to lift the right arm up. Beautiful. I love this pose. It looks like a star. Someone standing in front of you. Right? It's like you're getting 3 stretches for the price of 1 here. Your low back, your chest, and your hamstrings. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Breathe in and out. And 1 more. So good. Okay. Right hand down. From here, let's roll it all the way up. Okay. So let's begin. Let's transition into our restorative practice. And for today's practice, and the sake of introducing it to you, and I just do not want it to be a cumbersome experience for you, we're going to keep our props in the same place, in the same composition, and we're just going to move our body into different shapes around it. So we're going to build a little tower with our props. And if possible, I would love your tower to be on an angle. There's lots of different ways you can do it. Take your firmer props towards the back and see if you can build this slide of some sort, right? It doesn't have to be, we're not going for perfect. We're just going for some support. And so what I'm going to do is take the base of my spine just to the edge of this little tower that I created. And I'm going to put my head back here. And I'm going to start with the soles of my feet together. So restorative yoga is a very passive practice. You want to completely intend to give in. Give in to exactly where we are and allow ourselves to feel supported and know that we have built that support system ourselves. Our nervous system needs to hear that, right? Especially in a time like this when a lot of us are feeling so isolated, right? And sometimes those moments where we feel like it's hopeless and we feel so alone, our nervous system needs to know that we can support ourselves here. So take a moment to close the eyes. I'm going to leave you in some of these poses for a few minutes because I want to give you the time to just quiet down and quiet inward. So we'll just allow the soles of the feet to come together. You can take them in or take them out. And relax here and find a few breaths. So I want you to know that I'm still here, and periodically I will give you a cue. So you feel that you are continually being guided and supported in between the moments of quiet. You can let your breath be passive. Let your hips just enjoy the stillness. And this heart opener to just take shape. The mind is going to try to tug you out of this moment. May tell you can be doing some better things with your time. But the truth is, this is one of the best ways that you can spend your time for your mental and physical health. Take 3 more breaths in this pose. If you're catching this late at night or later in the day, I encourage you to stay longer in this pose. But for the sake of our short time together, we'll change it up. And keep your eyes closed. Just extend your right leg straight. So you're in this half butterfly position. You can let your right foot just relax out and down. As long as you don't feel any residual pain in your low back and you want to feel comfortable, you want to feel supported. If at any point you feel cold in this practice, I want you to get up and put a sweatshirt on, put a blanket on, so you feel warm. When we're feeling cold, it's hard to relax our body. You want to feel comforted. Again, if you have the time, please stay here for another 2 to 3 minutes. Just lavish and luxuriate in these poses. But since our time is limited, extending your left leg and bending your right knee. As long as you don't have any knee issues and you can flex your knees comfortably. This is a whole front body opener, right? Not just in the heart, but in the abdominals, in the chest, and the organs, and our hips, and our hip flexors. And this actually helps to balance out the way that we've probably been sitting excessively for the past 9 months, right? Our body's always tense and in flexion, right? At our desks, on couches, right? Where we're not walking as much. We're not moving through the world as much. And our body knows that and takes the brunt of it. So allowing your whole body to relax in this open way. Just keep your breath really casual, really relaxed. Notice any excessive gripping to what is or isn't at this moment. Restorative yoga is a chance to just be with what is, to be comforted and supported here, regardless of everything else. So once again, if you can stay and you have the time, please stay for another 2 to 3 to 5 minutes, right? I would have you stay in these poses for at least 5 to 10 to 15 minutes each. But again, I'm just guiding you through to give you some way and ideas for you to restore your body and your energy. Okay, last one. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet down and keep both knees bent. And we're going to hang here for another few moments. And so with our knees bent, there's this symmetry now to the hips. And in fact, you're going to take your feet out and let your knees maybe draw in towards each other. Just very casual. Right? Feel as if the right knee is trying to get into center, your left knee is trying to get into center. And they're just finding, your knees are finding their own harmony. Right? Don't you find that nature, right, is always finding harmony, right? There's this cyclical pattern in nature where there's a bloom, there's a storm, there's disruption, there's a change, and there's a rebirth again. So allow your body in this moment to have a chance to be reborn. That's what I think about restorative practice as. It's restoration of all of our internal systems. Again, if you have the time, please stay. We're going to move into our last pose, and it will be the only time that we're going to change the body's position entirely. So if your eyes have been closed the whole time, blink them open. And I want you to very slowly lift yourself up. And here's the thing with restorative. Feel the effects. Feel how perhaps you're more grounded, you're more steady, you're more clear. I feel it. Last pose, we're going to take our resting pose with our legs mounted. So try to even out your tower. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But allow perhaps a tower where both of your calf muscles can be supported. I hope that you can build perhaps a taller tower than I can right now. I find that the more that the tower is elevated, the nicer it is for your low back. And then coming on to our backs here, and release your arms down by your side. And we'll take a moment to rest in what we call Shavasana, corpse pose. And though this pose teaches us so many lessons, the primary lesson that it teaches us is the practice of letting go. So I know as a human in this very contemporary world, it is hard to let go. But what if we could? What if we could let go of all those things we were hanging on to and what we hold over people and, all of our gripes and our complaints, and find a little bit more trust and a little bit more faith? What if? I'm just presupposing. That intention of letting go is strong. Allow yourself to rest. Please stay as long as you can. Otherwise, start to breathe your arms all the way up and over the head as you take a good stretch, reawakening again into your day. Just gently bringing your legs off of your tower, rolling off to one side and pausing here. Again, feel the effects of your efforts, of the stillness and the movement. And then we will press ourselves up to sit. When our body is more organized and still, our mind knows that and feels that, and it's inspiring to our mind. So I want to thank you for showing up for you today in this new year. Wishing you all the best. Happy New Year. May you have a wonderful 2021. I will see you next time. Thank you for your presence. Namaste.